All right, so one of the first things I learned when I got into broadcasting is the mascot you never take the head of it off because supposedly it scares the kids. But it's senior night. He's clearly been an important part of getting these great crowds at the Spectrum fired up, being recognized by the crowd. But again, I think you might have wanted to keep, you got to keep it on. You got to keep the gear.
The cloak of anonymity is gone.
Yeah.
It's time to pass the baton.
All right, let's take a look at the Mountain West tournament brackets as they stand right now. If the game ends as it is right now, we're going to have to change these brackets. So right now, UNLV would be the 7th seed. But if Utah State wins this game, they will be the 7th seed and would get Colorado State. And then UNLV would play Air Force. But if we forget about the opening day, the 7th, there are going to be some interesting quarterfinal matchups. I mean, a New Mexico-San Diego State game would be must-see television, right?
Yes.
And then Fresno State, you can make a case, is the hottest team, along with New Mexico, in the conference. I mean, I don't know who's going to win the tournament. I just know I can't wait to watch.
Yeah, exactly, Ari. It's just about not so much who you're playing, but how you're playing. Of course, matchups loom large, but you've got to make sure that you're right before you can make a little bit of noise in Las Vegas. It's going to be dynamite.
That's going to be terrific. Can't wait to get there. We step away for a moment. When we come back, we get the second half underway. Aggies looking to close out senior night with a win. Welcome back. Crowd having fun here at the Spectrum in Logan, Utah. ESPN bringing you Mountain West Hoops on a Saturday night. And the home fans are happy because they're up by a dozen. A 13-4 run to end the first half, Bill. And the Aggies start the second half with a lot of momentum.
What adjustments does Marvin Menzies make defensively, Ari, against Utah State?
Dargington gets the 2. We got to give some other love to Dargington. He led his team in assists in the first half with 5, a career high.
He has been terrific.
I love it on senior night when seniors play well.
Yes. And there he is, Ari. Great, again, offensive execution, half-court style by Utah State. Dargington this time the beneficiary.
Back the drive and finishes with the left hand.
So you see here, Beck there denying Perry in transition. How do you stop three-point shooting? Get out in the passing lanes. Pick up at least half court. Make those passes shorter for the opposition.
Ewan got stripped. UNLV with the basketball. Extra pass, Moorings 3, count it.
Good response here by UNLV. Obviously, you're not happy with that defensive somewhat breakdown on the first possession by Utah State. But again, Ari, you're so right. After that 13-4 run, you've got to respond here on the road. First 4 minutes, second half.
And UNLV has not won in this building since 2015. Their last 2 trips here, unable to come up with a victory. And we've talked about this before, but you always assume a new audience. Well, I think one of the things, as we take a look at this gorgeous 3 from Mooring, the geography of the schools in the Mountain West make for such compelling road trips. If you're San Diego State and you got to go to Wyoming, or you're UNLV and you got to go to Utah State, there's just a lot of trips. Some conferences, the schools, most of the elevation's the same. There aren't other factors to consider. The weather is a factor. You go to San Diego, you might be worried your guys are worried about laying out at the pool, right? Other places you're worried about getting in a blizzard.
And Ari, you've got it all. You've got sun, you've got snow, you've got elevation as well.
With authority, Beck throws it down. And then you throw in, I think coach's probably least favorite place to go is UNLV because there's too many options for too much fun. Sam Merrill, nicely done. Merrill's got a dozen.
He's been so consistent, Ari, as well throughout the season.
Merrill, the only player to start every game, to just add to your point and how consistent he's been.
This is just great sense of timing play score by Beck. You see Johnson here on the penetration. You know, almost looked like he was going to throw a floater to McCoy, but Beck opportunistic. He knows what to do with it.
Mooring can't knock down the triple this time. Merrill the rebound. Oh, you can't let him have that. Oh, the running Rebels catch a break there. He shoots it at 54% in conference play from beyond the arc.
And that one, Ari, did everything but go down. You're right.
And the running Rebels get their 3 from Jordan Johnson. Little run here for UNLV.
2 for UNLV from downtown, Ari. In the first 3 minutes, they only had 1 in the first half. They were 1 of 4 at the break.
Merrill, the drive, got caught in the air, and it's an offensive foul. Eric Curry says we're going the other way.
Now, Mooring does a great job here as a secondary defender. This is kind of KYP, know your personnel. These are things that perhaps have been not ordinarily natural, but UNLV getting the benefit of that call. And with 9 new players, Ari, that's what happens. It's tough to get your sea legs, if you will around the conference, learning personnel and what have you. We talked about the traffic.
Turnover by the running Rebels. They have 8 turnovers. Utah State was 6, and now another turnover.
See, now we're seeing UNLV now defensively. You know, they made a couple of threes.
And check that out. It'd be Utah State basketball. My bad.
But we're back, Ari, to a 2-possession game. Ton of time remaining.
Look at Houston. Takes it away and finishes it with authority. All right, I'm going to say something that I'm going to get crushed for. I'm willing to do it. I am frankly more impressed with Houston than I am McCoy, and it's not even close in my mind.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The McCoy's bigger, and his NBA potential may be better, but Houston, I'm telling you, that guy's got it.
You're bullish on Houston.
I'm very
yes.
bullish on him. I've been on it all season. I've been reluctant to say it out loud, but there it is. The 3 no good. Houston gets the rebound. McCoy the 2.
McCoy just heard you, by the way.
Hey, no, I love Brandon McCoy. He's a great player.
Sure.
But he came in with all the hype. Houston, you know, comes in as a JUCO guy. Even though you're the national player of the year in JUCO, you don't have that kind of hype coming in. But he is Larry Johnson 2.0.
Yeah.
Larry Johnson was a JUCO national player of the year. Got to UNLV, couldn't shoot it very well. And Houston's got a lot of game. Still doesn't shoot it all that well from the outside. I'm not saying he's going to have an ad campaign around him when he gets to the NBA, but I like his game.
And Houston just brings that, of course, I'm biased, that Jersey toughness out of Newark. And that's part of his game, Ari, that, of course, he can develop as far as shooting from the perimeter.
And that's it. I mean, he's fantastic. I think that half their possession, they should give him the ball right there, and 70% of the time he's going to score.
Good response by the running Rebels here on the road.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 2-point game. They were down a dozen. Outscored Utah State by 10 here in the second half. And here, the stud freshman, McCoy, gets the 2 in the paint, and the running Rebels on the move. Welcome back. We've got suddenly a great basketball game as the running Rebels have been on fire at the start of the second half. People are wondering why UNLV struggling late in the year. I'm posing this as a question. I don't necessarily adhere to this. There are 4 main guys. Jordan Johnson averages 34.4 minutes per game. Javon Mooring, 32.4 minutes per game. Houston, 30 minutes per game. McCoy, 28 minutes per game. Could fatigue be a factor late in a hard-fought Mountain West campaign?
I mean, I think it could be, Ari, but I think you've just got to fight through it mentally. And, I think, you're shortening your bench, which you typically do late in the season tournament time. I'm willing to roll with it.
Mooring's got it. Blew a chance there at a layup, and then Mooring commits the foul. Mooring tried to create there for his teammate when probably would have been better off scoring the basketball himself.
Yes. And Ari, how about these numbers second half? 16-6 UNLV over Utah State. 0 points for Utah State off of turnovers, and they're 7 of 8 from the floor. 2 of 3 from downtown.
The last timeout was the coach's timeout. This one, a media timeout. I know you're not going anywhere now because we got a 2-point game in Logan. Leading scorers, the Stars come out the regular season finale as the Stars for both teams have delivered. McCoy with 13 points and 4 rebounds. And Merrill getting it done with 12 points on 5 of 7 shooting. I frankly think Merrill is too unselfish at times.
You think so, Ari? Yeah.
He doesn't take bad shots.
Yeah, he really doesn't. Just been a pillar of the Aggies program. Just a sophomore as well. We'll see how Utah State responds now at home to the UNLV run here to cut it to a 2-point deficit.
Both these teams desperate for a win. You want to have some confidence before the tournament starts on Wednesday. Taylor, the 3, too strong with it. Juiced in the rebound.
No, you're so right, Ari. You want to get right before the tournament.
And the other hand, the team that loses will be going into the tournament with a 5-game losing streak. Brito to Brown. Good job by UNLV getting back defensively. Now Isby with the ball. They brought him in to become a scorer. First year with the team. Hasn't scored yet tonight. Here he is. The 3. Brown the rebound. Nice cut by Isby, and he's on the board. First points of the night.
It's one of the things that's so basic, and Marvin Menzies told us this at shoot-around. With so many threes attempted by Utah State, long rebounds in there, they capitalize.
Mooring the 3, that's off. Brito tracks down the rebound.
McCoy off the floor, Ari, at this juncture, but he's at the scorer's table ready to check in.
Zhang in at the 5 spot right now. He got 2 quick fouls in the first half. Brown's 3. Count it. Nice response from Utah State after it was cut to 2.
Absolutely. Brown, solid player.
And UNLV wants to get the timeout.
You see here Merrill attracting so much attention, and Brown just spotting up in the short corner. It was a good closeout by Houston, but of course, Ari, just a little bit of help off the corner 3 can be so deleterious to your defense. And on that particular occasion, Brown makes UNLV pay.
UNLV 0 points over the last 2 minutes and 14 seconds, as it felt like they had all the momentum.
Yeah, I mean, Ari, they came out second half 7 of 8 from the floor, 2 of 3 from downtown, just 2 turnovers, and Utah State had 0 points off those turnovers, and that was a big story in the first half. It was 14 points off of the 7 UNLV turnovers. But you said it, Utah State has responded well. They've maintained their poise.
You know what I'd like to do if we could get the budget? I want a Bill Horrenda cam, because you're like a professor next to me. There's just so much information in front of you. I think Professor Horrenda would be a nice side gig for you.
That's a moniker I will strive to live up to, Ari.
3 no good. McCoy back in the game and throws it down.
McCoy so big in the painted area. Now can UNLV get stops?
Brown, that's a heat check. And Taylor, another rebound. Taylor's made a lot of little plays that may not show up in the box score, but Quinn Taylor's played very well
He
tonight.
really has, Ari, on both ends of the floor. He's brought the toughness. And here we see off a mooring 3. And both of these teams are very good offensive rebounding teams. And there we see McCoy and Houston are both in the top 5 in conference in offensive rebounds.
Brito misses the 3. I know they shoot a lot, and that seemed awfully early in the clock to launch a 23-footer, but Isby's got it with the left hand, yes.
You alluded to this, Ari, with Brown. You see Isby making a contribution, some 50-50 balls, 2 opportunistic baskets by Isby.
Houston gets stripped. Aggies on the move. It's Brito. All of a sudden, the lead is up to 9.
UNLV, of course, will get the media timeout here. Next stoppage of play.
Wow, McCoy, that's a long 2. That's way off. There was more than 20 seconds on the shot clock there. Is that just a freshman not getting time and situation?
I think so, Ari, yeah. May not be the best shot for McCoy, may not be there yet as far as reps go to make that, you know, on a consistent basis. You're on the road, a little impatience.
Brown, no. Houston the rebound, outlet to Mooring. Mooring will attack, left hand, yes.
Gorgeous take. You know, there were only 8 fast break points in the first half, Ari. UNLV had 6 of them, Utah State only had 2.
Merrill wide open, count it. That's a breakdown defensively. That guy, you better get a hand in his face.
Yes.
Houston, not sure he called glass, but he'll take it.
So we'll see here if UNLV can get stops. But you're right, Ari, that last possession was a pure defensive breakdown.
This is quite an offensive display from both teams. I remember in the middle of the first half, we thought the winner might get to 60 points.
Yeah, exactly. It was that 13-4 run that really got Utah State percolating offensively to end the half.
Aggie basketball.
It'll be Aggie basketball when we come back. Sam Merrill. He's got 15 points and one of the best looking three-point shots in the Mountain West. Can't leave that guy open. If you're a fan of the Mountain West, will be the story of the year, no matter what happens. Potentially, Gonzaga coming to the Mountain West. Commissioner of the Mountain West Conference, Craig Thompson, has talked about it. It's being discussed. We don't know how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, or even if. But it is being discussed. Gonzaga, one of the elite programs in America. And then it could have a domino effect because it could mean that BYU wants to come back, at least for basketball, to the Mountain West. And suddenly the conference's RPI is going to skyrocket.
Yeah, it would certainly be a boon, Ari, for the Mountain West Conference. And, you know, what can you say? You run out of accolades to describe Gonzaga's program, the success they've had, the prestige, the cachet that they would bring to the Mountain West Conference. It would be prodigious.
What Mark Few has done up there and the way they win consistently, geography-wise up at Spokane, it fits perfectly with the Mountain West.
And I think your point, as far as raising the RPI of the conference, it would just, on so many levels, it would be a
Look,
boost.
Other teams may finish below Gonzaga in the conference, but it's going to help the conference so much.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, the conference tournament this weekend, that I guarantee will be a subject of conversation.
And it's ever evolving. Of course, you've had the impact of Eric Musselman in Nevada in the conference of late. So many terrific storylines. Boise State has been so good. San Diego State with players like Kawhi Leonard, of course.
But this is a conference that, when I started doing their games in 2009, was getting multiple teams in the NCAA tournament on an annual basis. The last couple of years, it's been a one-bid league, and you bring in Gonzaga, it changes everything.
Yeah, because you could get back to that type of environment, which obviously is ultimately the goal. And you've heard coaches within the league talk about trying to schedule from a non-conference standpoint as well as you can. but having Gonzaga within the conference would be huge.
And imagine, the non-conference opponents that Gonzaga will get, because they're such an attractive team. They go to a lot of those, big-name early season holiday tournaments. They're a draw, so we'll have to wait and see. Could be very exciting for the Mountain West. Dargington is fouled.
See, now that was better defense, man-to-man style by UNLV. Of course, pick and roll, high pick and roll. The rotation man, the roll man is the rotation man's responsibility, as UB Brown says. So UNLV was there, just a half second late, but still commits the foul. But that's better intensity defensively by the runner-up. And Ari, interestingly enough, in the first meeting between these teams, a Utah State 85-78 win at Thomas and Mack, Utah State's bench outscored UNLV's 20-12. Tonight, the reserves, it's 17-5 an advantage for Utah State. So that's always good news for the Aggies when you get production beyond Merrill and McEwen, which, you can kind of take to the bank.
So much knowledge from Bill Horrenda. Going to school with the professor. All right, 11-point lead for the Aggies. Time for the Running Rebels. They need a run. Great defense. The three from Hardy. No.
So UNLV going small here, Ari.
Oh, nice block by McCoy. McEwen's three. No. Well, these 50-50 balls are going Utah State's way right now. It looked like Merrill was fouled. No call. Oh, they did call it. Sure didn't seem like they called it, right?
A little bit of a late whistle, I believe, Ari.
All right. Coach Duryea was upset for a moment, but they get the call, and the Aggies have an 11-point lead. Our score, Utah State leads UNLV 64-53, and I'm guessing a few of you out there are wondering what the other scores of the Mountain West are. Let's take a look. Air Force, a big winner over San Jose State. Boise State defeats Wyoming. Two other games in progress. New Mexico over Fresno State. And then Nevada in the first half, 7-point lead against San Diego State. So with Wyoming losing, they're now locked in that they will have to play on Wednesday. So they're a dangerous team because they're so good offensively. And then I tell you, New Mexico beats Fresno State. You and I off air were talking Coach of the Year.
Yes.
I mean, what Paul Weir has done warrants serious consideration for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, it really does, Ari. He's been terrific. The Lobos have really had a year exceeding expectations.
I mean, after the non-conference, I didn't think they'd finish in the top half of the Mountain West.
Yeah, exactly. They've really bounced terrifically well. Hey, Ari, that was the 5th offensive rebound by Utah State in the second half. They average 8. It's only 6-2 second chance points in favor of UNLV, ironically. But see what's happening? It's sapping and draining energy from UNLV. Their first shot defense has been really good, but the offensive rebounds by Utah State has extended UNLV's time defending, and it's been tough on the road, as now all of a sudden you're back to a big deficit, 13 points.
And Dargington's got 12 points in the game, one of 2 seniors on senior night. Also has 5 assists, a career high, and 4 rebounds. As Merrill gets the steal, UNLV has to get some stops right here.
Yeah, desperately. They do need stops, no question. And Ari, how about this? With a win tonight, UNLV would go to 9-9 in conference. Andre LaFleur on Marvin Menzies' staff was on the staff with Jim Calhoun, Kevin Ollie, George Blaney, of course. 9-9, Kemba Walker.
And how about the other senior knocking down a triple? Julian Perry. Again, he came in with 4 made threes on the season. He's got 2 tonight.
He's played with big heart throughout his career. Great energy guy.
Hardy, no. Perry the rebound. McEwen's triple. Aggies are rolling. 72-53.
Timeout.
And
UNLV.
Marvin Menzies gets a timeout, a 10-0 run for Utah State. And the two seniors putting together terrific games for the Aggies.
Great vision by McEwen, finding Dargington, who just goes to work there on McCoy. Reverse layup. And again, you talked about assists early, Ari, how good Utah State is when they make 15 assists per night. And McEwen again dishing, finding Perry for the corner three, such a high percent shot.
They blew by those 15 assists a long time ago. 27 made field goals on 21 assists. That's amazing.
Yeah, really is. This is a great response for Utah State after, the loss at San Jose State, which, of course, made it 4 straight losses. And, San Jose State has really hung in there. Of course, tough going. Coach Prelo, his initial year with the Spartans.
I will say this, though. Part of the problem of playing at San Jose State is the lack of an atmosphere because the program has been down. I think sometimes it's a little hard for teams to get up for games when they go there.
Yeah, playing hard, Ari, is a skill, and maintaining that focus and edge throughout the duration of a season is not an easy thing to do.
Right, because it's easy to look at a schedule. There are certain games you're like, oh, we're going to Boise State. We're going to be up for that one. We're going to San Diego State. The show's going to be there. We're up for that one. I think sometimes when you go to a program and they're down and the place isn't packed, it takes a level of focus that other places, it just happens.
Yeah, and you hear it around the NBA so frequently, right? The mantra of playing hard is a skill and something that young players are in the process of learning. And listen, you flip that and think about San Jose State, how they believed and got it done, right? Stick with it, the resilience, perseverance.
Mooring's three doesn't go. McEwen the rebound. Mooring with the rebound. The 21 assists tonight. They matched first time they've done that since December of 2017. That was against San Jose State in their first meeting this season.
Fouls on Alex Dargington.
Dargington picks up the personal foul.
Quick hitter now back to the game.
Now with the quick turnaround and the tournament starting Wednesday, Marvin Menzies has got a real task in front of him because as it stands, they'll play Air Force, and that's tough because they go so deep. They play hard every game, and I just think, to get these young men ready because they still have a chance. If they can win 4 games in 4 days, they can go to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
But coming in with 5 straight losses, he's going to have to be a psychologist, not just a basketball coach.
And they've beaten Air Force Ari twice this season, 81-76, 81-73.
Hard to beat a team 3 times in a season.
True. It's a familiar but true refrain.
Merrill, the long 2. Brown, the rebound, and he'll go to the free throw line.
One of the things that you have to be impressed with McCoy, okay, it's a mismatch scenario there, and he's guarding Merrill, and he did a pretty good job guarding him. As a 7-footer, he's got the ability to guard multiple positions. That's a pretty good closeout for a 7-footer in a scenario like that. So, you think of the most recent history of UNLV, right? Patrick McCaw in the NBA. Of course, Anthony Bennett professionally has struggled. Guys like Kem Birch and Derek Jones that are hanging around.
Zimmerman, too.
Right.
I mean, they had a lot of guys come in who you thought they were, the Holy Grail had arrived.
Right, exactly.
But they haven't stayed very long, and, McCaw is probably the guy, maybe because he's playing for the best team in the NBA, who's really seemed to be having a good time in the NBA.
It's true. And, sometimes it's beneficial to get picked later or be a free agent.
There's Houston. Well, one thing I think when Coach Menzies watched this tape, just not enough touches on the block from McCoy and Houston. I mean, that's the strength of the team.
Yeah, it really is.
Merrill, the 3, and Houston up high for the rebound. That's his 8th rebound to go along with 12 points. And it's McCoy, basket, and the foul.
So
There's still 4:05. 13-point game. It's possible.
There's a lot of time here, Ari. And you see this execution here. Nice take by Johnson, and he dishes, finds McCoy. Now, this is off a defensive rebound and a push, and you see McCoy or Houston, the first big down is going to rim run. Good execution by UNLV.
All right, we're going to step away. Runner Rebels trying to make some noise late on the road, but they still trail by 13. All right, so this is a look at the bracket as it stands at this moment. Now, on the clock, we got 4:05 remaining. Utah State wins. They move up to the 7. They would play Colorado State. And then UNLV would play in the opening game of the Mountain West Tournament. I can't remember the last time that happened. At 11 a.m. local time against Air Force. And you know those Air Force guys are up at 6 a.m. every day. So that's no big deal. I don't know the schedule of UNLV, but that's a challenge to play that early. And probably, you know, I'm sure they hope all their fans will show up at 11 a.m., but UNLV fans are not used to them playing in the opening game of the tournament.
No. And you know what, Ari? Also, the mercurial, fickle Mountain West Conference, January 10th, Colorado State beat Utah State in this building 84-75. Prentice Nixon had 26. So, again, that's an eternity ago, January 10th. But
well, they've had the coaching change. I mean,
yes,
things are different.
Yes.
In Fort Collins now. Merrill, fade away. Quinn Taylor, another offensive rebound.
Offensive rebounding. The avarice, voracious appetite for offensive rebounds has created the separation for Utah State. After the 13-4 run, Ari, that put them up 12 at the break, that has been a huge factor here in the second half.
Brown, oh! Went for the extra authority on that one. Mooring comes away with it. Two big guys are leading the break here. Jordan Johnson in traffic, nicely done. And it's an 11-point game. UNLV gets a timeout. I'll tell you this, they're playing hard.
Yes, they are hanging around, and you can see the attention to detail. Mooring was on the floor here, and they're still looking to push. And Houston finding Johnson, the provocateur for UNLV for the finish. So you're right, Ari, just an 11-point game. We got a lot of time here, 3 minutes. Again, UNLV has not won a game this season. They're 0-7 when trailing at the half.
One thing to keep in mind here, UNLV has only committed 5 team fouls, Bill. So if they want to stretch the game and get it in the 1-on-1, at some point they're going to have to commit some fouls. And then the problem may be you foul a Utah State team, you've got guards like Merrill and McEwen who both shoot it really well from the free throw line. Merrill at 84%.
All right, so that's certainly a factor, Ari, of course.
At what time on the clock do you start thinking about, okay, if I can't get a quick steal, I want to foul and try to lengthen the game?
You know, it of course will depend on the differential.
Right.
But, I mean, if you're at this type of differential a minute from now, you may want to think about that, to consider it. Because, you know, conversely, right, if you're Utah State, what are you going to do? You're going to be strong with the ball. You're going to run your half-court sets. You're going to run, of course, deep into the shot clock. And you've been getting oodles of offensive rebounds. So 1 or 2 more offensive rebounds, and that's near game over.
Yep.
So from that standpoint, the way the trend that this game has taken, you've got to think about that, I think, at the 2-minute mark, if you're Marvin Menzies.
Well, Utah State has out-rebounded UNLV 28-27, and that is pretty stunning because Utah State on the season has a negative rebound margin, and UNLV is the best in the Mountain West at plus 5 rebounds per game.
Yeah, so there you go.
9 offensive rebounds for Utah State.
And you know what, Ari? That has been – they only had 2 offensive rebounds in the half.
7 of them in the second half.
Yep.
So his full court pressure is giving the Aggies some problems, but so far they've not been able to turn it over.
You see here Utah State, I would imagine that they would run this shot clock, Ari, and just get a good, obviously if you get a high percentage shot, you're going to take it early, but you want to run your offense, run your stuff here and trust it.
McEwen the drive, and he's fouled. That's your worst case scenario for UNLV. They use most of the clock, you foul him, and he can score from the free throw line.
Exactly, and this field goal attempt occurred with 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock. You see McEwen here operating, driving on Houston.
Well, they did a good job. They got the switch, and it's hard for Houston to cover McEwen.
Yeah, exactly. And see, this is the dilemma. When you're guarding a team like Utah State with the propensity for threes, okay, it's very tough. You can't go under pick and roll scenarios because they're going to shoot the three. It's hard to fight over them, so you've got to pick your poison, and you live with the switch, which, of course, can be problematic. We've seen Boy guarding Merrill frequently here, second half, and then on that occasion it was Houston on McEwen.
12-point game, 2.5 minutes to go. Deep three from Johnson. That's way off. And Merrill says, you know what, I'm content to just kind of walk this into the front court.
See this 1-4 set. And again, our Utah State, they're going to drain clock here. And for UNLV, like as we discussed, time becoming a nemesis as well as the Aggies.
Got to shoot it. I think that's the dagger right there. That is a kind bounce. Well, maybe not. Back the other way, basket in the foul.
Just when you're ready to say the coup de grace by Merrill.
I mean, look at McEwen. I mean.
Excuse me, by McEwen. By McEwen.
I mean, that thing bounced up so high, it was almost at the top of the backboard and still went through.
Pretty good defense by Mooring as well, Ari, but UNLV has been really effective in transition on misses, makes, and of course any turnovers that they forced.
Yeah, it doesn't appear that UNLV is looking to foul, which I'm surprised. I mean, if they just let them work the clock, they're going to run out of time.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to extend in that fashion. And you're right, Ari, short of turning them over immediately, this deficit will not be able to be overcome.
Nicely done. McEwen to Taylor. And Johnson turns it over.
Nice night for Taylor, Ari.
Really
as
nice.
You talked about earlier.
Taylor, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and gotten his hands on a lot of loose balls.
Yeah, 19-5 bench scoring in favor of Utah State. And again, it was 20-12 in the win at Thomas and Mack earlier in the season. A 7-point win for the Aggies, 85-78.
And again, I go back to it, 29 made field goals, 23 assists.
Yeah, that is great numbers. Terrific numbers.
Got a feeling that Coach Duryea is going to find a way to take out the seniors and let them have their moment.
Yeah.
Free throw is good. All right, so I think it's safe to say that we now know who the number 7 seed is going to be and who the number 8. So Utah State in the Mountain West tournament will be the 7th seed. And UNLV will be the 8th seed. So UNLV will take on Air Force, and Colorado State will take on Utah State.
1 minute. 1 minute to go.
Nice high-low there with Houston and McCoy.
Okay, but where's that play been all night?
Yeah. The
I just feel like they got away from their strengths early in the game.
Yeah. And I think, Ari, this is part of the inconsistency that we've seen with UNLV throughout the season, really. Particularly in league. You know, they went 3-4 early, kind of finding their way, 9 new players. Then they went 5 of 6.
And they played well on the road in conference.
Yes. But again, now you're in the midst of this 4-game losing streak, which is going to be 5 heading into the tournament. So not the way you want to enter into the tournament. But you have no choice. On to the next one. Turn the page. I thought Utah State did a good job defensively as well, just kind of. And again, Ari, second half, UNLV had to extend so much energy defensively on those extra possessions by the offensive rebounds.
Beck gets the easy two. Just 26 seconds remain. And the lead is a dozen. They don't need to shoot. They turn it over. All right, a timeout because Coach Dury, I believe, wants to get the seniors their moment. Classy move here.
Yes, it is, Ari. You were on it early.
Seniors Julian Perry and Alex Dorchington.
And the best part is they both played really well on senior night. Well done. Perry finishes with 6 points, couple of rebounds, 3 assists. Dargington really played well, 12 points, 4-4 from the free throw line, a career high 5 assists and 4 rebounds.
Terrific. Great way to cap off their careers here, Ari.
Final score, Utah State 79, UNLV 67. Utah State is now 15-16. They finished Mountain West play 8-10. UNLV is now 19-12. They finished Mountain West play at 8-10. What'd you learn tonight?
That Utah State, Ari, got right, put themselves in good position for the Mountain West Conference Tournament, played with great poise at home, and unfortunately for UNLV, it was a inconsistent effort, and unfortunately defensively allowing those offensive rebounds in the second half proved deleterious to the overall effort. But they both have to turn the page in Las Vegas.
All right. Last question. Give me a quick answer. Who wins the Mountain West tournament?
Nevada.
Yeah. Way to go.
Chalk.
Out on a
All
limb.
chalk.
On behalf of my brilliant analyst, Bill Horan, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Ari Wolf saying so long from Logan, Utah. Final score is 79-67. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live on the ESPN app. You can watch the entire game on replay. Log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.